Hello and welcome to Liberty Nation TV with your host, Jeff Charles. The Abbott Express is still in full swing and Democrats are still raging at Texas Governor Greg Abbott for busing migrants and illegal immigrants into Washington, D.C. But now the governor has expanded the effort to include New York City, and Mayor Eric Adams isn't exactly pleased. I have with me Liberty Nation's national columnist, Sarah Cowgill, to break this thing down. Welcome to the program, Sarah.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jeff. It's always a good time with you on here.
Yes, definitely, especially about this because this is a very entertaining story, but I think it's also significant.
Like immigration stories, we do.
Yes. Now, why don't you give us the latest updates on the? You're hearing it first here, folks. I'm calling this the Abbott Express because this is awesome. So why don't you give us kind of the latest updates on what's been going on here?
Well, I was going to tell you that the Abbott Express is hilarious. I looked at that this morning on your cheat sheet, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to go viral, Jeff.
It should.
Well, Abbott has been very, very, vociferous about how immigration, illegal immigration specifically, is impacting his state. And he's done all sorts of things. He's called in the National Guard. He's started to build the wall that the Trump administration ceased because they had to. And then, Biden came into office. And so then we had another big mess on our hands. We're poised to set another record on illegal immigration with crossings up past 2 million this year. So, he's a little desperate. These people are coming in down south into tiny border towns like Del Rio, Texas, and they're overwhelming. They overwhelm community resources. These are tiny towns. These aren't giant, metropolises that have all sorts of resources and contingency plans for, say, homelessness or public assistance for getting settled and things of that nature. And so you're dealing with communities in New Mexico and Texas that are just completely overrun. They can't handle it. And this has been going on for years now. And it's been a big problem and people have been crying and crying. So Abbott, although, it's a drop in the bucket, sending a couple thousand people here and there, I think they're up to 4,000 now. They're busing them into the most liberal cities that we have that are, open borders proponents. You can be open border proponent when you live in DC or New York City because, you're not anywhere near the border. And so it's not immediately affecting the citizens of those states. So he's decided we're taking this on. See you later, alligator. Puts them on buses and off they go.
Yeah, since these blue cities and these open borders advocates won't really pay attention to what's going on at the border, it sounds like the Abbott Express is bringing the border to them. Now, how have they been reacting to this? I mean, you've got DC, you've got New York City, and you've got other people weighing in. What have they been saying about this whole thing?
Well, they are ticked off, and they're blaming Abbott for not taking care of these people when they can't or won't take care of them themselves. I think Mayor Adams just recently cried and complained that he only has a certain amount of beds for people. And, they're already dealing with homelessness. And well, everybody's dealing with homelessness because the economy sucks right now. So we're all dealing with people who can't afford to pay their regular bills. Even the small towns are dealing. We have in rural Indiana where I live, we have food banks everywhere just trying to help make ends meet for those people that can't, their paycheck doesn't go as far as it used to. So all of those things are happening everywhere. And for the two mayors, Muriel Bowser and Eric Adams, for them to whine and complain in cities of millions of people, especially New York City of 8 million people plus, to complain that 2,000 people have landed on their doorstep. 2,000 people overwhelm tiny towns like Del Rio, Texas, or like my little town. That's the closest town where I live. It would overwhelm 2,000 people. There would be no way we could help these people. So, it's all relative. And for them to be crying and complaining I think what has happened is Abbott has done his job and bringing the attention to the states, to the big cities and the states that need to hear it. And they're closer to DC, and they're going to start whining and complaining. And when they start whining and complaining, maybe the Biden administration could step up to the plate a little bit.
Well, yeah, and that's something I'm going to get to in a few minutes. But but here's my thing. I mean, Adams and Bowser, they're both open borders, and a lot of other Democrats are. Why would they be averse to taking care of these people when they're always advocating for us to let more of them in?
Because they don't want to spend their money on people like that. They want the southern states to do that. They want to live in their own little bubble. And once they're faced with what illegal immigration is really all about, then they're going to dial it back. And they're doing everything they can to put the blame on Greg Abbott and Doug Ducey in Arizona, Governor Doug Ducey in Arizona. They're putting all of the blame there, saying that they won't take care of these people. Well, how come you're not taking care of these people? We got them to you, so now it's your turn. And out of 2 million people, 4,000 that have been bused so far into New York City and DC, that's a drop in the bucket. This is not a crisis for those cities. This is a crisis when there's 2 million people coming in over the southern border.
Yeah, exactly. So you alluded to this just now, but I mean, if this were to expand, like let's say Abbott and Ducey take the Abbott Express to other blue cities like Los Angeles and others, do you think this might actually prompt Democrats to finally hold the Biden administration accountable? Because right now there's only a few that are calling it out. But do you think this might prompt them to actually say, hey, look, Mr. President, you got to do something about this border crisis?
No, because these are liberals, and they're gonna blame who they blame when things don't go their way with the narrative. And the narrative is, we need all sorts of immigration, so we just open the doors and let everybody in and let the chips fall where they may. Well, the problem with that is, once they come in the doors, then we got to do something with them. If they don't know English, we got to teach them English. If they have kids, we got to put kids in school and make sure they know English, and we got to find housing for them. And the southern states are done. The southwestern states are done trying to deal with this problem. They don't have it. They don't have the resources. New Mexico is the poorest state in the nation, I think. Maybe after, I don't know, but I think they are the poorest state in the nation. And they're just getting overwhelmed. And their governor, Michelle Grisham, is open borders until it's not, until she isn't, until, oh my gosh, it's affecting me. So all of these people need to get a grip and either get on the page to where we enforce immigration and we do it the right way, or we're sending them to you. Here they are. Good luck.
Well, hopefully, eventually, if they feel the pain enough, maybe they might have a change of heart. We'll see, but I will be keeping an eye on it here on Liberty Nation. Thanks for joining the program, Sarah.
Anytime.
And remember, the show is proudly sponsored by LibertyNation.com, where you can access podcasts, breaking news and analysis, and a range of biting and brilliant shows to whet your appetite for freedom and your fondness for the great American Constitution. Just go to LibertyNation.com on your browser or hit Rumble, YouTube, or check out our Liberty Nation News Roku channel. I'm Jeff Charles. Thanks for watching. This program is a production of LibertyNation.com, where truth is making a comeback.
We're doing it for real, really real. Liberty Nation.
And Jeff Charles, contributor for LibertyNation.com.
I think we're starting to make an impact. Liberty style, fight for freedom.
Maybe tracking polls sponsored by Liberty Nation for Thursday.
Mentioned by Dan Bongino, Rasmussen, Jordan Peterson, and
I
others.
can do it again if you want me to.
Cited in Mark Levin's American Marxism.
I think we're starting to make a really big impact. Get noticed. We're doing it. Rock on. I'm gone.